Good morning and welcome back to Parcels of Knowledge, that podcast dedicated to delivering knowledge to the city letter carrier with your host, the Roseville Wrecking Ball. Today we have a special guest. He's running for Director of Safety and Health. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Good evening or good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I'm William Boone, and I'm running for director of DOSH, which is Department of Safety and Health, and running to be a director. I am a member of 1111 in the East Bay. Been a steward for a few years. Safety captain for a short time and member of the safety team, which I still am, and I'm also the safety captain of Vallejo, his advisor.
Oh, awesome. All right. So carriers have submitted to me questions, and we're just going to go one by one with no particular order, but I might actually take questions off that are repeats. So how many grievances at the formal level have you done, and were you a steward, which I know you already answered, but if you'd like to elaborate on that.
I was also steward for Grocery Carriers Union.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
have you seen grievances at the formal A level?
No, I'm not formal A.
Okay. Let's see. Will you be able to help put together critical national safety grievances that can affect letter carriers?
Yes, I can on that. Being that I've got a lot of experience in safety work, also is an online advocate.
Okay.
And I've written different things and is a member of Vallejo's safety team. So I brainstormed a lot before I ran for this, and I feel very confident with my confidence and being able to run this whole thing. I think I can get a lot accomplished.
Okay. Why should the membership, why should the membership view you as qualified for the position?
Why should they view me as qualified for his position? Okay, because got a lot of experience dealing with safety stuff. I have experience dealing with Department of Labor issues, being my own. That's how I got the experience dealing with my own issues when I got hurt.
Okay.
So I got a lot of experience with Department of Labor. And I've been a previous partner in a plumbing company. I have experience with OSHA and OSHA's safety requirements.
Okay.
And I also have an AA degree in business management administration. So I am capable of writing reports. I'm capable of doing presentations and capable of leading a department. I've led 2 businesses for post office. I managed one of them where I had as many as 22 employees working under me.
Okay. So Here's a question someone just sent in. If James Henry gets elected, he said he would establish the dogs of war and go in and stop the toxic work environment. If you were to become the director of safety and health for the NLC, would you do something similar, forming teams and regions to take action on management for health and safety concerns?
Absolutely, because now it's out of hand. There's a lot of things going on. People are getting assigned unsafe vehicles. I have something today that I viewed from a brother it's now going into an EEO process, and it has to do with fumes going inside the LLV, and he's written that up several times, and they have failed to fix it. They've signed him another vehicle, and behind his back, assigned that red tag vehicle to other carriers. And believe it or not, there is something now available to where people can retire on disability from the fumes from these vehicles alone. And that's just one example. There's several more, like the new ProMasters. They have a recall, factory recall on the ProMasters. Post office has not taken those vehicles out of service for the factory recalls. So there's so much stuff going on, numerous. And it's been going on for so long that the whole system is in disarray. Some of it has to be rewritten.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let me see. Okay, sorry for the wait. I just want to make sure. What kind of leader are you going to be?
What kind of leader am I going to be? Okay. When you manage, the best kind of a manager, and I've stressed this to a lot of people, even my own sister who manages law office, you have to be level. What I mean by level is you have to have a nice, good sense of humor, willing to work with people, willing to listen to people, willing to give a pleasant direction to people. And on the other side, you also have to be firm.
And that's you, eh?
Yeah, you have to be firm. You have to be able to evaluate, observe, and carry out good decisions. And all three of those are a factor in good, successful leadership. And I choose to surround myself, and I picked some people already that I want to work with. And I want to surround myself with the absolute best people available, not just somebody because I know them and they've been a union officer. No, these people have to be experienced, and I'm talking a lot of experience, be able to do a lot of things to give support to the department. So that's how I would be. That's how I would be a leader. And I think I can be very successful. Everybody who's ever worked for me enjoyed working for me.
All right.
That's the type of a leader I want to be. And I want to get things done. And I want to have results. And results right now is a mega word because it's lacking in this union. There are no results. What have we seen? Things getting worse. Other than that, nothing.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Do you believe more positions need to be elected instead of appointed?
I believe every position should be elected.
All right.
The only positions that should be appointed are the director's staff, his or her own personal staff. Those should be appointed. The directors themselves needs to remain how it is.
Okay. What is your view on USPS being so light on prosecuting assaults on letter carriers, and do you think the NLC should be more involved in this because it happens to letter carriers?
Absolutely. Part of the problem right now is that NALC is not holding USPS management accountable on anything. And the whole system is gone into disarray or started to go in disarray long before Fred Rolando was in charge. So it goes back. And that's the other thing that I want to change is I want to hold these people accountable. If they're harassing somebody so bad that they get, and correct me if I say it wrong, PTSD. And I've talked to 2 people already who have it and have gotten no help from Mr. Peralta at all. And they're very, very disappointed with his lack of confidence in what he has been able to show. Okay. And that, to me, that is absolutely unacceptable. Somebody getting PTSD because they're harassed by management and by NALC elected officers, and that is completely atrocious.
Yep.
Completely unacceptable. And I'm going to be investigating a lot of this. I'm going to encourage people. Send me reports. I want reports on who these bad people are. Because I need to deal with it.
Yep.
It's a very serious situation. I'm not happy with that. When this comes up, I'm not happy because it shouldn't be happening. We're too damn hard to be treated like crap.
Yeah, I agree. What specifically?
And, this is the one thing. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you want to finish first or no?
Well, I think I pretty much stated the bottom line.
Okay. What specific?
It's got to be dealt with. It's got to be changed.
Absolutely. What specifically have you done to advance safety in your home station, in your installation, in your region, and potentially at national?
Um, I've done safety checks on things in my installation. Um, I've done many write ups, and this is a common violation, and that's blocking doors. No door anywhere inside a station can be blocked by a pallet or anything. It has to be left clear, and I'm constantly debating this with my own supervisors and postmaster. I would say, as far as my management is concerned, I've seen worse. We've got some pretty fair people. A lot of them have carried mail, so they're carrying competent, which is good. Postmaster is, as far as I'm concerned, there's certain things she does well than others. Anyway, there's that. Things in the bathrooms leaking, Sloan valves on the plumbing, leaking faucets, the leaking soap dispensers. I feel that they can, and I have stated they need to eliminate paper towels and go with electric hand dryers, and that's going to save money. That's the problem. There's so much wasted money. Also, we got people driving around the parking lot above the set standard. People driving with their doors open. People not wearing seatbelts. And I have had to face one supervisor who was a carrier. And she just recently turned supervisor again. And she was supervisor when I started, then went back to carrying. Now she's supervisor again. And I think it's because she's going to be retiring maybe 2 or 3 years. She's not that bad. But she told me, don't tell me how to do my job. And I told her, enforcing the safety rules is your job.
Yep. Yep, you're right.
And I walked away from her. I'm not going to stand there and argue with them. And if it continues, they're going to get documented. And if I go and visit somewhere and they want to have it out with me, I'm not going to have any part of it. I'm just going to tell them you either do it the way you're supposed to do it. You have the right to manage and dismanage. If you dismanage, you're going to be held accountable for it. Plus, and I've said this already, some people, DOSH personnel are going to be wearing body cams when they go in to these stations. That way, we have proof we were there and how we conducted our business and how their approach towards us was while we were conducting our business. business. That's the reason for body cams, is
Okay.
proof. And it's not um, overburden recording. It's simply for business. And we're not going to have them all on recording all the time. It's going to be on while we're recording business only.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. What is the extent of your dealings with OSHA?
What is my dealings with OSHA? Okay. Well, my dealings before with OSHA were because I was, and I'm going to base this on what I did before with OSHA. I've done a little bit now, but not as much as before. You know, they want to make sure everybody's working safe. They want to make sure everybody has safe equipment to use. They're wearing the proper gear, and they have the proper gear provided. Okay, and that's the bottom line. What I intend to do as far as OSHA is concerned is, say a safety captain tells me this violation's going on over and over and over. I can get it stopped. So I'm bringing it to you. I would go to them, give it one shot. After that, go OSHA and have a very solid laid out complaint. And then have OSHA deal with it. And that's what they want done. If there's a complaint and you've have documented proof that you tried to deal with the complaint X number of times before you go to them, then 9 out of 10 they're going to back you.
All right.
And it's not going on right now. There's so much stuff, so many accidents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. What is the extent of your dealings with Department of Labor and OWCP?
Very extensive. Because when I got hurt, there was problems at first. Because I didn't, and this is the problem that a lot of people are having. I got two people talking to me right now about it. People don't know what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to file everything. That half people, they don't know what e-comp is. And half the people, they don't know that we have good people to work for us, such as Catherine Akana in the Region 1 office who does OWCP stuff. And she's outstanding. She does a good job. She loves her work. She loves helping people. She's helped me. So the other aspect of it is knowing how to do things properly, so Department of Labor is going to approve stuff. If you have stuff missing and if there's wrong codes on the treatment paperwork, they're going to kick it back.
Okay.
And knowing things like, for example, pain is not a covered item by Department of Labor. Not a lot of people know that. They think, oh, because I'm in pain, I should be compensated. It doesn't work. And that's why there's FMLA for that purpose. So you can have a week or two, excuse me, a day or two out of a week to, rest and give yourself time to recharge. And I mean, I can go on and on and on about this, but I learned a lot. I learned the hard way, and luckily, I've got a good wife, and she helped out when I wasn't pulling any compensation and I was fighting Department of Labor. And
Okay.
another way you fight them is through your congressperson. And I happen to have a good congressperson who helped get my surgery approved
Oh,
for
good.
my back. For my back, I got a triple fusion on my back, but no pain now, so I'm doing really well. Um, and that's just another person that you can use. And there's just a lot of different things people don't know. There's people who are desperate and they're going into financial distress. They're losing their cars, they're losing their house, everything because they don't know what to do. And that's got to be fixed.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm trying to cover everything I know on this that's helpful. Also, MetLife has a good legal plan. It's covered under our benefits, under Union Plus. It's not in our benefits, and it's not in benefits. It's under Union Plus, and they have lawyers who cover that type of thing. They'll help you instead of having to come up with $5,000 out of pocket retainer up front. So I've been through stuff with those WCPs. So that part of my experience is totally valuable. And there's a lot of people don't know what I know about that.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot of
if I
stuff.
see, yeah, and if I see there's a person tells me, oh, this got rejected 2 times already, I can probably look at it and know exactly what to do, or I sure can find out because I talked to Kathy and she would know, or I could refer this person to her and she would be able to help them.
All right. Let's
So, yeah, you can see my OWCP experience is very extensive.
Have you ever been an officer of the union?
Yeah,
Which one?
been officer of Grocery Clerks Union.
Okay.
When I was a clerk for Andronicos Markets, which that that company's completely gone under as of early 2000s. They went under.
Okay.
Yeah, so steward, safety captain, and advisor, and safety team member. That's what I've done.
Now, do you have a specific plan for how to deal with heat safety, violent crimes, and on the job injuries? or JSOV?
Yes, I do. Like I've stated before, with Brother Knowles and Brother Miranda, it is my preference, and it's been my preference for a long time, to eliminate as many BTU boxes in residential areas as possible and turning them to curbsides. Reason being, getting the mail and packages closer to the customer and the elimination of keys. The reason for the robberies is over the keys. That's
Okay.
it. That's the biggest reason. Gotta get rid of those keys. We even need to get rid of blue collection boxes, turn the collection areas back into grocery stores, which was back in time. That's where it was to begin with traditionally. So we need to turn that around, get rid of collection boxes. Put
Okay.
everything stores. Also need to put lock boxes in all vehicles for personal items such as wallets, such as cell phones, such as any valuables. And the boxes are to be locked with a combination lock and not a key lock.
Okay.
So if you don't have it on you, a robber doesn't have anything to steal from you. He's just go to the next victim. I have a lot of ideas in combating this because my brothers and sisters in Vallejo have been targeted. And I've had windows broken out, carriers knocked over for keys and mail, all kinds of different things. So getting rid of these boxes and getting rid of keys, I feel that it's going to cut down robberies by over 3/4.
Okay.
Maybe I'm exaggerating that figure, but that's what I feel. As far as apartment boxes are concerned, can't really eliminate those. But what you can do, and this is a feature some people know nothing about, and it's a collection box feature on the scanner. So you can use any key, put it into the lock, and you aim the scanner at the lock, and eventually it'll say turn to your right and it'll open the box.
Oh, okay.
So you're having one key, and that key will not work without the scanner. Robbers not going to steal the scanner. If they do, they're nuts because they're going to get trapped and they're going to get arrested because the scanner's got GPS in it.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
So that is my biggest thing to combat the robbery stuff. All the safety stuff is outdated. Safety check, the checklist for vehicle is outdated, needs to be rewritten. I got a whole mess of stuff to put in. And it's very legitimate stuff.
All right.
And some people on the street, and this is common sense, but a lot of people don't think about it. Somebody goes up to you and they say, "Oh, you want to buy an electric drill," for example. And you say how much, and he says, "Oh, $20." So you get out your wallet. What happens? Boom, they put some behind your back and tell you, "Give me your money."
Yep.
So a lot of stuff for safety.
All right. Let's
And
see.
it needs to be rewritten. It's outdated and it's ineffective. And I can think of numerous things.
Let's see. Last election, you ran for director of life insurance. This election,
Mm-hmm.
you're running for director of safety and health. What happened in the last 4 years to make you shift focus?
Well, um, the head of my slate basically told me that is the slot that he had available at the time that he wanted filled. I agreed to it. What changed my focus is me hearing from my chief steward now and my past one. We can't hold them accountable for anything. And there's been so many robberies. One guy that I like so much works very hard, wonderful guy, new family man, and they rob him for his keys. And he had a little bit of after effects of that. And it's just a lot of things. My own brothers and sisters having problems. And that alone is a big motivation. And also just thinking about what can I do? Can I handle this? Can I get things done that need to be done? Can I accomplish things that need to be accomplished? Are the people that I need for my staff readily available? And the answer to all those factors is yes. And that is what motivated me. And last time there was that. This time I could decide what I wanted to do. I thought about running for director of delivery. But I think that, and I thought about it for a while, and I think that was too big of a pill swallowed. So I looked into this and decided this was the best route for me.
All right. The post office increasingly relies on scanner data, GPS tracking, and performance metrics. How do you make sure this technology is used to improve safety rather than pressure carriers into unsafe behavior?
Well, what I'm constantly telling people, and I just have lunch with the safety captain of Vallejo yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I told him, "Are you aware that you cannot be held accountable for scanner data alone? It has to be proven by visual sight, meaning the supervisor has to be on site to see it. There's a lot of people don't know this. And management, all these new carriers we got. I've got a lot because my turnover the last 4 years has been extensive, a lot of retirements. So got a lot of new carriers. They don't know all this stuff. And that's the key is to educating carriers and telling them you guys need to take your breaks. You need to take your lunch. I'm sick and tired. And anybody listening to me, you know who you are when you're doing this and you don't take your lunch. It's unacceptable. Stop it. Take your lunch. And I'm sick and tired of reading about people not taking their lunch because they don't want to take it. It's there, take it, use it, and quit fighting about it.
Yep.
Anyway, there's that, and there's comfort stops. And you're allowed comfort stops. They cannot deny you comfort stops. Anytime they deny you comfort stop, that's an absolute grounds for grievance. And all this stuff is causing accidents, and people are trying to hurry, and then they trip and fall, or they're trying to hurry and they get in a traffic accident.
Yep.
Know how to read your volume. Know how long it's going to take you. If you've got coverage, ADFO, or some people call marriage mail. You got any of those things, account for it. If they deny your $39.96, don't argue with them. Tell them I'm going to call at 3:00. If they deny it again and they tell you be done a certain time and have to deliver mail, that's another grievance. They cannot give you double instruction ever. It has to be one or the other. They keep giving you double instruction. You keep repeating until they give you a one or the other. And if they, for some reason, they keep giving you a double, you say you'll try, and then you be back there and you bring back what you don't deliver. And then if they try to go after you for that, you did everything you were supposed to do. You put in your paperwork. You made your phone call. You held them accountable for the decision, not you. It's their right to manage. And they managed, and that's what they decided they wanted you to do.
All right.
And and all this stuff is going to eliminate accidents, eliminate hurrying, which is ridiculous. Nobody should be hurrying or running their route.
Yeah, you can't spell pivot without OT.
It's just bullying and abuse. Okay, that is the grounds for all these problems, and nobody is solved them. That's the problem. That's what's causing all this stuff. Problems aren't being solved. Nobody's being held accountable.
Yep. All right. It says, in the next few years, what do you think will be the biggest safety concern that carriers will be facing?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Within the next couple years, what do you think will be the biggest health and safety concern that carriers will have?
I feel that the biggest concern, and this is going to be an issue until they uh, turn the entire fleet over. I think it's going to. I think it's going to be things surrounding heat issues. I think it's going to be a problem until they get the whole fleet changed out. I know the fleet where I am has been changed out, and none of them in the 1111's area. None of the fleets have been changed out. The only things that they've done is they've added Pro Masters and then the Mercedes. Other than that, business as usual.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, as far as this other stuff is concerned, I'm going to jump on it. I'm really going to pursue it. I'm going to use every weapon and piece of ammo available to me, the contract, the law, everything available, because it has to be done.
Yep.
It's it can't be maybe it'll be done. It has to be done. Period.
Yeah.
One way or the other, it's going to get done.
Now, next question is, why are you not part of the CLC?
Um, I am not even in clean sweep anymore. I chose to run as an independent because I have my own principles.
Okay.
And I feel being an independent allows me to have my own principles without somebody else telling me what my principles have to be. And my principles are not anything that doesn't help or favor carriers. All my principles favor carriers, favor change, and favor better safety on the field, better floors in the office. That's my principles. That's what I'm running on. Anything is for everybody's going to ask me about the contract. I'm not going to agree with anything Doug Tolino puts out that is not favoring carriers. I will not agree with it. I will not support it. I will not be bought. Nobody's going to buy me
Okay.
because I've seen too much, and I know some of these people are getting bought. I feel it in my bones. It's not me. I want to be the guy that somebody can go to with their problem and be able to get help to make their life easier. That's why I want to be known as. I want to be known as a strong root. There's other people that can do stuff with the contract. I'm going to sit in it, yes. That's my job. But there's other people that are going to have more on that. My job is safety and health. and approving those things. That's my job. I got a big mess to clean up. What I'm going to focus on is I got to clean that mess up.
All right. So, next question is about management turning off AC inside the building in the summer to get carriers out of the building. Is there anything that you think the NELC is going to be able to do about management creating an unsafe environment like that? And also, can you make branches do something about it?
Absolutely. Um, this goes back to um, paper trail documentation from individual safety teams and safety captains of all the individual offices. That's their job to tell me. And things like that, I take that seriously. I've never had to deal with that. I've had to deal with it for a couple of weeks one time because they were working on it and put in a new one. Other than that, I've never had that problem. Well, I know there's other people who have the problem. I won't stand for it. The workplace is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be comfortable environment to work in. If it's uncomfortable, somebody is going to answer for it. Period. That's what has to happen that hasn't happened.
All right. What can you do about when management starts the clock later during the summer, trying to make carriers deliver during the hottest time of the day?
Okay. I just made a comment. Somebody mentioned to me about starting times. Problem that I've been seeing over the past few years is this: the package volume is increasing, and they want all the scans done, not just by carriers, but the clerk craft. And there's so much, and it takes a lot of time, and they have to set the times back because there's too much. What I have said is this: maybe they need to start everybody earlier so everybody can get done sooner. And that being in the winter months, so not everybody's out in the dark. Because I'm against working in the dark. I don't like it. I've had to do it over my 21 years, but that doesn't mean I like it. And yes, it's unsafe. And just have to come to a legitimate, reasonable compromise with them over that. It either can be done or it can't be done. I want to see something changed, but the way things are going, the package volume that we're getting, so if we can't get the clerks in earlier, I don't see it. But if there's people that finish sooner than others, then those people should be helping others finish. They should be given, in other words, should be given a pivot to help another carrier on the route to cut down their street time after dark. That's the big thing that I'm concerned about. The heat. If you got good vehicles with air conditioning, then it's not going to be as big of an issue because I've got a ProMaster myself. That's what I use. And it does work well. It helps a lot. It's been the biggest change I've had in my career having that. So eventually it's going to come, hopefully sooner than later. But until it comes, just gonna have to sweat it out and use certain precautions like drinking the proper liquids that put certain necessities into your body and not drinking others.
All right.
That's what I can think of.
All right. So I got only one more question, and that's the question I do with every investigative interview. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. I feel like I've said, and I can beat this to death. The problem that's causing all these problems is the lack of accountability. If somebody being a carrier gets killed or they die because of a negligent supervisor, that negligent supervisor needs to be hung over it. What I mean by hung is they need to be taken in and held accountable. If by the law, if necessary, removed and stripped, they lose their pension, everything over that. When you cost somebody their life, you need to be held accountable for it. And it's not happening. I've seen too many carriers are dying. Why? Too many carriers are going and having insanity problems because of what they're faced with, and they're going and killing their people. A alumni of mine died on the dock with UPS about 3 years ago, and a guy killed him, about 4 people. So it's a lot of problems.
Yep.
Okay, it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's going to be fixed through competence. It's going to be fixed through dedication and hard work and clear goals and clear paths.
All right. Yep.
Okay, and it's got to be changed. And like I said, the big word is results. That's a gigantic word.
Yep.
And what have we seen? We haven't. And people tell me, "Oh, Manny has more experience than me." My question is to these people who are listening to this: what has he done to make you think he's competent? What has he done that you don't think I can do? And I have new goals and new ideals that I feel can and will help. And I'd like to thank you very much, Josh, for having me. And I'd like to thank our brothers and sisters for their time and listening to us. And you guys can comment on my Facebook group page, William Boone, candidate for NALC, Director of Safety and Health 2026. You can join my page, or you can email me at the email on my page logo, or on Facebook itself on my individual Facebook page. I will answer, and I will give it the best insight that I can. If I don't have the answer, I will get it.
All right. Well, it was good having you on. I appreciate you as well. And thanks for spending your time to explain to the people and explain and answer all the questions. I'll look forward to seeing you how you do in the race. You have a good night.
Okay. And